EDS02D reporting. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Pretty shortly it'll be Father's Day, so I want to wish all of the dads, all of the fathers, a happy Father's Day. You know, it's a very special day for the brothers that have children. So I want to wish them a happy Father's Day. It's a really, really important time. You know what I'm saying? A special day. You know, if you got kids, you know, you appreciate your kids growing up, you know, appreciate being a part of their life, appreciate doing all of the things that's required of you, of being a father. You know, not only that, but, you know, all of the things that you do on a daily basis to keep the household running, to keep the household, you know, in pristine condition, things of that nature. You know, making sure that the homestead is stable, all of those things. So I wanna I wanna wish all the brothers a happy Father's Day. You know, we in the Black Manosphere, we hear your voice. We understand what you go through as a man. We understand, you know, everything that is required of you in this world. So we do have an appreciation more so probably than anybody else because, you know, we are you. We embody everything that you embody out here. So we have an appreciation for you that's unlike any other because it's coming from brothers that are also fathers, brothers that are also husbands, brothers that are also men, black men out here. So it's a lot of appreciation for that. Uh, you know, I want to say this, right? Is that back in 2018, 2019, that is when we won the quote unquote gender war. I just want to make that like perfectly clear. You know, this this gender war has already been won. This gender war was won by the Black Manosphere, by black men. We had so many brothers come out with their points of views. You know, after so many years, so many years of hearing gynocratic talking points, hearing women, you know, speak down on black men, all types of women, white, black, whatever. But it was really, you know, the black women that were talking like cash ish about black men. And, you know, I remember this being not just a certain, you know, a certain section of men, not just, you know, a particular man or a particular type of man. No, 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 no. This was categorized as the collective of black men. This was talked about as all black men. This was talking about the majority of, right? So it was something that I remember and that a lot of brothers also remember happening back then, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15, things of that nature, during those years. And to have black men come out, to have the black men that are actually about something, the black men who are actually on a daily basis working hard, providing for their wives, providing for their families, come out and push back against that rhetoric. That was something really special. They're aboard the Black Manosphere. They're aboard a different perspective. They're aboard a different ideology, different concepts, different ideas, different thought processes, right? There came all of those things to push back, to negate the hate. That's the way I'm going to describe it. Negate the hate. So, with the introduction of these concepts, the introduction of black men who decided that, you know what, enough is enough. Enough is enough with the bashing. Enough is enough with all of the hate, all of the verbiage, all of that. Enough is enough. They came out with their experiences, came out with their anecdotal evidence, and then a set of brothers that came out with the actual statistics to disprove a lot of the things that was being said about black men, right? So with that, I have a lot of pride, there's a lot of pride looking back at it. There's a lot of nostalgia looking back at it, because it was something that a lot of men, although they were doing a lot of the work, you know, the stigma of staying offline and just, keep working, and keep working, like it didn't work. It didn't work. Like, what I'm saying? So many men were disenfranchised in the sense that they weren't appreciated. The brothers that was doing the right things weren't, weren't recognized, weren't appreciated for doing that. And, for a large part of guys that, like myself, that were married, a section of brothers that, you know, were doing all of the things that they were expected to do. They were raised by fathers. They had morality. They had principles. They had all those things that, that counteracted this narrative, right? So it was a great thing back then, right, for guys like us to see that, hey, wait a minute, there's a different narrative here. There's our perspective, our narrative being pushed out here. And this whole idea of the quote unquote pick me, right? That didn't exist back then. You know what I mean? Like that, those women weren't around. Those went like it was only seen as being just women against men. Like there were no women that had black men's side at all. Like if you think about 2015, 2016, 2017, there were no women that were on our side that had a channel that was saying anything that was positive about black men at all. And that was sad to see, like any black man. I mean, they had nothing positive to say about, their fathers, their brothers, their sons. And it just gave up, like, this whole vibe was given, right, of like, you just hate black people. I guess you're a black woman that just hates being black, right? Like, it just gave this vibe of she hates being black. These particular women, like, online, and now we know what they are. Now we know what they are, right? Those women that were complaining online about black men, those women that were talking cash-ish about black men, Nyla, Cynthia, Black Manosphere, turns out that they're all of them are modern black feminists. They don't represent the collective of black women out here. But it turns out that they have the loudest voices online. And that's just because of the nature of online social media. The more controversial that you are, the more provocative that you are, the more attention that you get, the more clout that you get, the more outrageous your arguments are, the more outrageous your statements are, the more attention you get. It's just a function of social media. Like, it's really unfortunate that that's the way it is, but you know what? I've been telling people this for the longest time, that that's the way social media is. That the negativity, the vileness, all of the negative things is what gets all of the attention. You know what? I've been saying this for the longest time. And what happens is, they start getting a whole bunch of other, like, weird people, folks that are hurt and bitter and upset, to agree with them and start participating. And then it all looks like there's some type of, like, this whole collective of women that are out here hating on black men and have all of these negative things to say. And there's no pushback from even married women or women that are happy and satisfied. Like, there's no pushback at all. So what happens is, a function of social media is, if there's no pushback, if there is no pushback, that's the narrative. That becomes the narrative. That becomes the going narrative. So some of us realized that, right? And decided that there needs to be a pushback against it. And the pushback needs to be as vile, or even more vile and potent, than the attack. That's what was decided upon. That the pushback needs to be much more potent and vile and vitriolic than what was received, due to just the length of time that these women have been talking ish about black men, and a lot of the things that were being said, certain things that were being said about the collective of men generally. And what was you know what? And this is the thing about Obsidian's camp, and about a lot of brothers that were on that side, right? We pulled up the actual statistics, the actual data, right? That actually disproved everything that had been said by them. Everything that had been even thought about being said about black men. Stream after stream after stream, all of it was proven false, and all of it was negated. All of it. every single piece of it. And where there was improvements to be made, I remember Obsidian saying this, right? He had numerous live streams saying black men need to support each other. Black men, don't actually support, their interests as much as they should. Like, a lot of this had already been talked about. He pointed this out so many times, right? And that it was like a disgrace that you would have a man or men that are speaking on your behalf as a black man, on your behalf, and you don't support them. Like, it's really sad, right? But that's how it's been for a long time. But we called it out. The Black Manosphere, we called that shit out. Because during that time, like, when women would get together and talk shit about black men, they would get all types of support. All of the support in the world they would get. And that's just a fundamental difference. Like, that's something that men got to get out of. Like, look, if you don't want to be talked shit about, if there is somebody, another black man specifically, who's out here fighting on your behalf, that has, things to say that contradict the gynocratic narrative, like, you need to support them. You need to show support. This was something that KS talked about. Both him and Obsidian talked about it together on a lot of live streams. So that was something that black men were called out on, and a lot of that was fixed. A lot of that was actually resolved. So we've seen like a great rise of manosphere talking points, through the mainstream. So this is why I'm saying, like, look, at this point in time, I'm in watch mode. For me, I am in watch mode. We've already won. As black men, we've already won these arguments. We went through these arguments over and over and over again back in 2018, 2019. If you weren't here to experience it, then you're late to the party. We're not going to rehash it. It's something that we're not going to go back on this shit. Like, I'm not going to rehash all of the arguments that was had between Cynthia and the Angry Man, Nyla, Obsidian, O'Shea, Duke Jackson. We're not going to go through all of that. But in 2018, 2019, this was all resolved already. Like, there was a win. Like, it was an utter destruction of the gynocracy. So at this point, what we need to do as men, we need to stop acting like we're waiting on them to acknowledge us as the winners. We just need to take our prize. The brothers need to take the prize that we gave them back in 2018, 2019. We're not going to go over and over and over again on the same talking points that we have clearly won. So if you weren't around in 2018 and 2019 to witness this, then you're assed out. Like, we're not going to go back on this. So we are at a point now that we are in watch mode. A lot of us are in watch mode, just watching what the younger generation of men are doing. So we need you, as the younger generation of men, right, to take your prize, to pick up on what we said, and to actually take your prize. Like it was described so perfectly. I heard a well-respected brother say this, right? So it's like this. It's like women have had the basketball for so damn long that as soon as you get the ball, we handed you the ball. Me, Obsidian, the Angry Man, O'Shea Duke Jackson, we handed the younger generation of men the ball. But what we're seeing is that they're acting like they don't know what to do with it. Just take the ball and win. Take the ball and do what you need to do to win the damn game. So the ball has been taken out of the court of the gynocracy of the modern black feminist, and now you have the ball. As a black man, now you have the ball. You finally have the ball. You need to go dribble that ball, do whatever you need to do to go ahead and carry on and win that game. That is what we need you to do, to carry on and win that game. What's going on, Don? How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing good, brother. It's Saturday. Said earlier, brother. Say Happy Father's Day if you're a father, whatever. You know what I mean. It's. I'm just having a quick little stream here, saying some things. Saying that's on my mind, and saying and whatnot. Look, we in the Black Manosphere, we are going to, carry on doing what we've always been doing. We're on a mission now to help the younger black men of today, get their weight up. That's what we're doing now over there in our camp now, over there in Obsidian's camp. www.black-manosphere.com. blackmanosphere.com. So what we're doing is holding classes, holding conclaves to help the brothers, to be into the STEM fields, teaching brother tech, teaching brothers, you know, how to actually network and things of that nature. So we're going to be in Miami this year. It's going to be a great event. We're looking forward to the largest turnout that we've ever had. So we're going to be in Miami this year. And we're looking forward to helping, brothers earn over 100, at least over 100K per year through Theo Woff's program on tech. So a lot of the details, is on that website, www.blackmanosphere.com. So, like I was saying, bro, all right, so happy Father's Day to all of the men, that are fathers. Look, I heard, and this is how pathetic, right, YouTube has gotten. Like, I'm going to tell you how YouTube, what I'm watching, because I'm in watch mode. Like, a lot of us brothers now are in watch mode. And how pathetic YouTube has gotten. Let me tell you this. So I saw a stream today, most of a stream that is, of a former Black Manosphere reject, right, that was trying to speculate that World War III would stop SBE, right? Like this really weird concept. So to me, it's funny because it's like people have nothing else to talk about. This proves. So first, let me say this: that title and that concept proves, first of all, that folks can't get enough of the Black Manosphere, that folks can't make content without talking about the Black Manosphere. Like this actually validates us. Folks who have channels dedicated to anti-manosphere, anti-Black manosphere, validate everything that we are. Like they actually validate it because they're making content based on us. So, in other words, if it wasn't for us, they would have a channel. They wouldn't have anything to talk about. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have concepts, ideas, or anything of that nature to actually, make a live about. Like, it's really sad. It's really, really sad, bro. So this person made a stream, right, talking about, World War III, you know, potential World War III due to what's going on in the world right now. That for some reason or some kind of way, right, that's gonna stop what he calls SBE. Look, this is the thing. Nothing is gonna stop what we're doing at all. What's going on in the world now is only something that we can talk about further, that brothers can actually talk about and actually have more content to add to their existing content. That's all that it is. Like, it's not anything that's going to stop anything else. Look, it's kind of like this, right? Have you ever heard of the term, you can't unring a bell? Look, that bell of calling women out on their bullshit, that bell of holding women accountable. And what do I mean by that? Like that doesn't mean like having a actual direct, consequence to them, but it actually means exposing them. It means talking about their bullshit, right? So nothing has changed. That's a bell that can't be unrung. That's something that's not going to be unrung. Like, it's already been done. And now that there's a lot of support for that we see that other folks, other Black men are seeing the same thing that we're seeing. Bro, like, there's not going to be an end to that. Like, there's not going to be a stoppage to that. So it's obvious that the topic that was made, right, is a pathetic topic, and it's not a serious one at all. This is just something because somebody doesn't have anything really to talk about. And his main shtick is talking against the Manosphere, the group that rejected him, the group that said, you're not allowed here, like you're too weird. You don't make cogent arguments, coherent arguments, not one iota. So if you don't make coherent and cogent arguments, and you're butthurt about it, like there, like look, bro, like it's just not. It doesn't make any sense, like for you to actually sit up there, and think that you're making any type of change. Like this dude has been saying the same stuff for the last 15 years, and nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has actually changed. Like he has affected no change in this space. So how powerful is he? Like what kind of influence does he have other than just being a spot where people can just, get together and cry about the Black Manosphere? Like that's all that it is. Like it's nothing more than that. An area where, men and women are gathered together to cry about the Black Manosphere. Isn't that just so damn sad? Like that is so sad and unfortunate. But that's what we got. And that's why I say, like, I'm on watch mode because it's just interesting to see the characters and the people that are over there participating in that nonsense, because nothing substantive is being discussed. Nothing of any, importance is being changed. It's nothing but gossip. It's the same thing that this individual says is a problem that he complains about, right? That's exactly what he's doing. He's doing the same shit. Like it's not affecting any change in this space. Like it's not stopping anybody from making Black Manosphere content. It's not stopping anybody from participating, in Black Manosphere channels, in chats, on panels. Like it's not making a difference anywhere. All that it's doing is serving as a space for people to gather together to cry and complain. It's sad. It really is, like, pathetic to watch, but it's actually entertaining. To be honest with you, like it's really entertaining to see someone really waste their time, to really waste their time to that extent, and really think that they're making a difference just because they have what listeners, other listeners who feel as though, they just want to get their 2 cents in. Like it's just not making a difference, not one iota. I don't see anything that's being changed at all. So, like I said, I am in watch mode, and I am watching a lot of different, you know, a lot of areas, a lot of different channels. So like it's really interesting just to see what's being said, because look, a lot of this has already been talked about. Most, like 99% of everything that is being talked about, I've already heard it. Like none of this is new. And it's just funny to see folks, try to pretend Some of them cosplay because they've heard it too. A lot of, you know what? A lot of other folks have also heard a lot of these talking points before. Like, none of this is new. And it's funny just hearing them pretend like it's new and pretend that they're adding something different to it when there's somebody actually listening to them and saying, you know what, I see what you're doing. And I've heard it also before in the past. Like, it's nothing new. Like, it's just funny to hear people do that, you know. So just like I said, like we've already went through this, and it's really going to be exciting listening, right, to folks try to recreate a lot of the same arguments, recreate the same talking points and things of that nature. Like, it's really going to be really interesting. But at the end of the day, you know, brothers, like, it's important just to realize, right, that we've already won all of this years ago. That's why a lot of brothers already moved on. We've already won these arguments. So to still see women, you know, particularly out here trying to rehash it is really interesting. It's really interesting to see women trying to re-argue the points that were defeated back 2018, 2019. So, you know what, I just like to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, I just like to, you know, it's interesting just to see, you know, folks, some folks cosplaying and some folks that actually, you know, are genuinely new to the space, acting like they're doing something. Most of this stuff has already been talked about. So that's why for me, I'm in watch mode right now. I'm just in watch mode, and I'm in a different mode. You know, I'm looking more into different like platforms and, you know, ways of streaming, and just, you know, experimenting with a lot of different, you know what I'm saying, Google products and things of that nature. Getting into different types of content, because the fact is that the brothers have already handled this. We've already handled this. Like, it's just amazing, just, you know, to see just how many folks are trying to go back and have the same arguments that we've already had back in 2018, 2019, and to be stuck there. Like this one guy, he is stuck there. He's mad that he's a Manosphere reject, and he's stuck. This dude is stuck, bruh. He is stuck back in 2017, 2018, trying to like re-argue, you know, along with a cohort of women against something that has already won. So it's hilarious. This is hilarious. So if you think about, you know, how the younger generations of men are operating today, how can you say, right, you know, that we didn't win? Considering, right, black men today are operating in a red pill manner, right? That black men today are operating with the knowledge that we passed down to them back then. That black men today are not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. It's so many men today not doing what was done back in the baby boomer generation, that this is a success. This shows that black men are actually moving up and moving forward and getting out of life what's best for them. That's all we wanted. That's all that we were looking to achieve. And that is what's going on right now. So just to sit and see folks like rehashing, stuff from 2016, 2017, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like it's hilarious, actually. It's actually hilarious that folks are mentally stuck from what we've talked about in the past. Like it's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sad, but it's also like funny to see, because you know what, a lot of us have already kind of moved, moved forward and moved on to different topics. Things like money, things like business. Those are the particular things a lot of brothers now are looking into, like Anton Daniels talks about. Let's talk about some money. Let's talk about businesses. Let's talk about what is going to create more wealth for you. Things of that nature. That's what a lot of guys now, are talking about. But they already know, as far as the relationship side, as far as the social side, like they've learned the lessons that was passed down from 2016, 17, 2018. They were listening. They were paying attention. So like it's just funny that a lot of folks are going back, trying to go back now, as though like this is still an ongoing deal. No, it's not an ongoing deal. We've won already. The Black Manosphere has won already. So to go back and try to say World War III, or the possibility of a World War III, is going to stop something, it's too late for that. Either you're going to cooperate with the program or you're not. If you're not, see ya. I'm going to find somebody that do. Like, it's just that easy. No more begging. No more pleading. No more trying to convince somebody to do this, trying to, do that. No. Listen, you either going to do it or you're not. So if you're not going to do it, I'm going to find a bitch that do. Like, bruh, like, it's just that damn simple. Moving on. We don't got time. Men don't got time for the bullshit. That bullshit that was going on back back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, that shit's not happening. Begging and crying and pleading and trying to, no. Either you gonna be with the program or you're not. If you're not, cool, I'm moving on. It ain't gonna be no argument. It ain't gonna be, nah, bruh. It is what it is. You gonna be left out. Like, it's just as simple as that. That's the way the guys are operating now. Either you gonna do it or you ain't. If you ain't gonna do it, then see ya, I'm moving on. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. That's the way that damn shit is, bro. Like, it ain't gonna be no stressing over this shit. Like, these young men ain't going for that bullshit. Like, either you gonna, you know what I'm saying, you gonna act right, or they moving straight up on to somebody else. Like, it ain't gonna be no arguing. He ain't gonna be no trying to, saying, get you to change. Nah, bro. Like, you either is or you ain't. That's the way these younger men of the day is moving, and we so proud of them. Cause look, there's a lot of work to do as far as getting that bread right, getting your money right. It's stressful as it is. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with that. So that the social shit, bro, like, that's easy now. That shit is easy. That shit is real easy now. It's gonna be, and for a lot of, for a lot of guys, a lot of brothers, it's gonna be like this, bro. Like, either gonna be transactional or it ain't gonna be at all. Like, bro, I don't got no time for the bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. You either gonna go down for it or you ain't. If you ain't, cool. Bye. Bye. All that other shit, all that other bullshit is gonna be thrown to the damn side now. Oh yeah, it's a new generation of guys now. It's a new generation of young men now, and they ain't putting up with the bullshit. I already heard a whole bunch of brothers say, "No, I'm not. I ain't going through that stepdaddy shit, bro." Like, it's a lot of guys saying that bullshit, bro. They not going through that bullshit. They not gonna go through it. Like, they not going through it. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't blame them for it, because a lot of guys, they went through it, wasn't appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Looked down on, disrespected all the way through the damn process. And bro, like, nah, that's okay. We'd rather just go on, you know what I mean, and deal with something else. Go, you know what I'm saying? Go with something else, bro. They not going with that bullshit. Them days over with. Them old days over with. So like, all these motherfuckers talking about some World War III gonna change some shit. That ain't changing nothing. That bell already been rung. So you wasting your damn time. Like, the word been put out there. The brothers already know what it is, and that's the way that shit gonna be. Like, bro, like, I'm not gonna tell my son. All right. Think about this shit, right? So I got an 8-year-old son. Ain't no way in hell that I'm gonna tell my son to intentionally find a woman that already had a child to bury. What the fuck do I look like telling my son, right, that he need to get with a woman that already got a damn child? That's bullshit. That ain't gonna work. That don't work. That is not gonna work. See? That shit is not gonna fucking work, bruh. Like, I'm just thinking about it like that. Like, why would I encourage him to be with somebody that got baggage like that got issues like that got problems like that? That's gonna hold him back. I would never tell him to do that. I would never tell him to do that. I would tell him to be alone before he does that. You know what? I would tell him that he's better off being alone than to try to get with somebody, that has that type of problem, that type of baggage behind them. Ain't no way in hell. It ain't no damn way in hell that I would tell him some shit like that, bro. Like, really? And that's what I'm saying. What would you tell your daughter, your son to do? So that's the advice that I'm gonna give men is that, nah, bruh, you don't do that. That's something that you don't do. You don't give yourself a headache like that. You don't give yourself a problem of that nature. Like, you don't, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself in a situation where you're behind the eight ball and you can't focus on what you need to do as a man. It's already other problems going on. No, bruh. I would never, I would never advise my own son to do something like that. That's a terrible idea. So a lot of men right now, and I've heard, and I've been in a lot of places, right? In a lot of panels, I've heard brothers say, like, especially the young guys, that they not putting up with that shit. Like, they not doing that. Like if you gonna be like, if they gonna act like that and be reckless like that, then that's a bad sign for them. That's a bad sign for them. And it is. They already know what the game is. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this, like, a lot of this has already been discussed. A lot of men already done talked about this shit. So for people to go back to try to act like they're going back to 2017, to 2018, where they lost, where the women lost. This shit was won back then, bruh. This shit was won. The Black Manosphere won this shit back then. We're not going back to that. Like, I'm not going back to that. So I'm in watch mode. Like, I'm in watch mode, bro. Like, I just want to see people make a fool out of themselves and go back and try to re-argue the shit. Try to re-argue all of the shit that was already talked about and argued about. But look, happy Father's Day to all the brothers. Like, I really, that's what I wanted to say. Happy Father's Day to the men. Look, I understand that, there's a lot of work that God that's not appreciated. A lot of stuff that men do for their kids, that they are around, what I'm saying, that they actually are around. A lot of men are actually active. It's actually been shown to be true and proven, you know. So I want to give a shout out to all of the fathers out there. Like, bro, right now, like, you don't have to look for the validation of a woman. Bro, go out there and get you something for yourself on Father's Day. Go out there, buy you a grill. Go out there, buy you some damn shoes. Go out there, buy you anything that you want to buy. Just appreciate your damn self as a man. Appreciate yourself and all of the work that you put in on a daily basis, right? To make sure that your family is good, to make sure that your son or daughter is fly, is good, you know, get yourself something. Show yourself some appreciation. You don't need anybody to call you. You don't need anybody to send you a message. You don't need anybody to send you an email. Like, you go out there and get your own self something, because, that's just the way that this shit is out here. So, but we in the Black Manosphere, I'm going to tell you Happy Father's Day. I appreciate what all the brothers do for their daughters, for their sons. I see it. I see the shit. I see black men taking care of their families, of their kids. I've seen this shit. So like, can't nobody tell me that shit don't fucking exist. That there are no black men out here that is handling their damn business. That it ain't no black men out here doing what they supposed to do as men. That it ain't no black men doing the very best that they can do despite the situation that they find themselves in. And no matter what that shit is. I know that a lot of baby mamas hate their damn baby daddies. I know that shit. And it's some men out there trying to be a part of their kids' life. They're doing the best that they can do. So I appreciate all of them brothers that's out there doing the very best that they can do for their kids, and being a part of their children's lives. Because it's just, that's what's important. That's really what's important at the end of the damn day. So for now, I'm in watch mode. So I'm just going to be, for me, I'm mostly going to be in watch mode, bro. We've already, like I said, we have already handled the gynocracy. We have already handled all of the feminine talking points. All of that has already been addressed. So a lot of us now, we are in watch mode. You be in watch mode, come join us in Miami. We are going to be in Miami in September. In September, come join me. I will be in Miami at the Black Manosphere Conclave. So till next time, see you next time.